What is going on, guys? This is Jonathan Ferrell. I got a new video today after having countless meetings with Twilio and GoHighLevel over the past couple weeks. This video is going to serve as the go-to guide for getting A2P approved in 2025, 2026, and hopefully it doesn't keep changing because it does, and it's getting a little frustrating. So, want to go through all the different recent changes with A2P, how to get your account approved, whether you're a sole proprietor or you own your own company. And so this is going to serve as the guide in order to go through the entire process, start to finish. Okay. So first things first, guys, whenever you're submitting A2P approval, you need to first have the business profile completely filled out, completely set up and ready to go. If you do not have this, this is a large issue, and this is how most people are not getting their A2P account approved. So I'm going to go through it with you guys and show you how to get it set up. Now, if you notice, there's a friendly business name and there's what's called a legal business name, and this is how you are currently registered. Whether you have an EIN number, an LLC, an S-Corp, or if you're like me and you don't have any of those, you're a sole proprietor. Okay, so if you have an LLC or anything S-Corp related, you need to put the legal business name, and it has to match what is on your IRS paperwork. So the information that the IRS gives you. So if I was Quantico Inc., I'd have to put Quantico Inc. and add all the little periods and everything else. Okay. If you are a sole prop where I work for a company, let's say I'm a loan officer and I work for a large company, but I want to get approved in order to do SMS, you're going to put your name inside of the system here. Okay. So again, swap this out depending on what this is, okay? Business email. So if you have a business email, they recommend not doing a Gmail account. So if I'm submitting for Jonathan Ferrell, hopefully I have like a info.jonathanferrell.com or something like that, but go ahead and put in your business email. And it's okay if you don't have one. If you have like a Gmail account or something like that, you can add that, but it does make it a little bit harder to get approved. So just a quick FYI, use your corporate email if you got one. Okay. Business phone number needs to be a phone number, obviously, that can receive SMS messages. Branded domain, they don't care about. Website, they do care about. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and submit with Quantico US, and then you can hit update. They're not caring too much about the business niche or the currency or anything like that. Okay. Physical address. Now, if I have filed my paperwork, I'm an S-Corp, I have an LLC, this here needs to match what is on your LLC information. Okay, so if you have your CP 575 form that the IRS gave you when they issued your LLC or your EIN, you need to have it match specifically what is on here. If you've changed addresses, you need to have it match what is on the IRS paperwork. Okay, if I'm a sole proprietor, I need to put my home address or my place that I'm doing business. So again, if I'm like a loan officer, again, I work with a lot of loan officers, you need to put your branch location here. Okay, so just a quick heads up. Make sure that you hit update, and we're going to scroll down now to the business information section. Okay, so this is where most people screw up on. It's because they need to have their information plugged in. So in this case, if I'm submitting for myself as a sole proprietor, I need to select the sole proprietor piece right here. And you'll notice that this says LLC or sole proprietor. Okay, so make sure that you select the proper one. Again, S Corp or C Corp, you're going to do corporation, limited liability company, or sole proprietorship. Go ahead and select this one here. Okay, you'll go ahead and put in your information. So let me go ahead. I'm going to scroll to real estate because that's what I do. Now, if I have a business registration ID, like an EIN number, I will select that right here. If I do not have one, I'm going to go ahead and put my business is not registered. Okay, that means that I'm submitting as a sole proprietor right here. But again, if you are registered and you have an EIN number, go ahead and select, and then you're going to enter your EIN number right here and then plug that in. Okay, so I'm going to also select that I do business in USA and Canada, and I'm going to hit the update info button right here. Okay, now that's done, we need to have authorized representative completely filled out. So in this case, I'm submitting for myself. So Jonathan Ferrell, I'm going to go to Jonathan at quantico.us, and my job position, if I am the CEO of a company, put CEO. If you are a sole proprietor, you are not a CEO. I don't care what your Instagram bio says, but you are not the CEO of a company. So you need to select other right here. If I am actually a CEO of a S-Corp or an LLC, something along those lines, go ahead and put your actual job title, but most everybody else is going to select other. And then you need to enter your area code to receive one-time text. Sometimes they will text you based on this number right here. Okay. Now that this has been filled out, I can now properly go and submit for A2P approval. Okay, so this needs to be filled out in its entirety first, and now we are going to navigate to the phone system setting right here, and that is going to allow for us to go into the Trust Center. Okay, so when you're in the Trust Center, if this is the first time that you're submitting your A2P, you'll see that you have been unverified. You have yet to start your brand campaign and your campaign. There are two levels of A2P that need to be approved. One is the brand. Who am I submitting this for? We just completed all of that on the business profile. And then two is what type of campaign do I need to submit? Okay, and that's how you utilize the messaging. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down and click the Start Registering Now section. Now you will see Determine Needs Profile. You will see that it says your business entity you're registering is located in the US or Canada. That answers yes. If I'm a sole proprietor, I need to select no. The business I'm registering does not have a tax ID because I don't have one. But if you are an LLC or an S-Corp, you will select the yes button right here. Okay. You will then go to the next stage, so your business name or your first and last name. I'm submitting for myself, so I'll go ahead and submit this information right here, and you'll see that this is going to pull in all of the relevant information that I put in for the business profile. Okay, and lastly, you see. All right, sorry about that, guys. Somebody just called me, and of course it went to the phone instead of the sys. So, authorized representative, make sure that you have all of this information filled out. Otherwise, it won't pull all that in. So again, just make sure that that's filled out inside of the system, and then we're going to click the continue button right here. Okay, so I'm submitting as a sole proprietor. Okay, what this means is I can have one phone number approved to text only. Okay. I am submitting for a sole proprietor campaign. If I wanted to have multiple phone numbers that could text, I have to have an LLC and I have to submit for a brand approval, which is completely different. Okay. In this case, I am submitting as a sole proprietor with a sole prop campaign. I'm going to go ahead and select I acknowledge, go to the continue button, and it's going to have me fill out my brand details. Okay. So enter the legal business name of the organization which is sending this, or your own brand name if you do not have a brand. If you're sole prop, you do not have a brand, you're submitting for yourself, so you're going to select your own name inside of here. If you have a brand, it should pull automatically, but if it doesn't, go ahead and fill that out one more time. And we're going to select the actual industry. So again, I'm in real estate, and I'm going to enter my phone number one more time and click continue. Okay. So now we are going into the campaign. So what type of campaign are we submitting? And again, a large part of the times when you're submitting for A2P, you will fail because you did not have the proper campaign information in here. So if your brand is failing or if your campaign is failing, this is extremely important that you guys need to take heed to this one real quick, okay? So they are specifically looking for use case description, okay? Use case description is how do these people, how am I going to use SMS in this case, right? So how am I going to be reaching out to these people? What is the use case that I'm going to use SMS? So it's extremely important that we select the proper SMS use case. In this case, this campaign will be used to reach out to customers who signed up for updates on my website, right? So I have a website, I have an opt-in form. People are going to fill out that form. I'm then going to text them. That's what I'm going to do, okay? We used to submit for calendar reminders, but then our campaigns would get resuspended because we weren't texting for calendar reminders, we were texting for leads. So you need to make sure that this gets filled out with the proper use case. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to paste it and say this campaign will be used to reach out to customers who signed up for updates on my website. Okay. Just leaving it at that. Okay, a lot of the times I'll actually use this because they have opted in, and this is incredibly important because what they're looking for right now is opted in. So I'm going to say who have signed up for updates on my website and have opted in by using the correct form. Okay, sample message. Now, what most people are failing is because they have a use case description and then they don't have a sample message that match. So this has to match, okay? So in this case, hello, this is Jonathan Ferrell, right here. Jonathan Ferrell. All right, so this sample message says, I'm following up about our meeting yesterday. That does not match what my use case description is. So I'm going to actually change this. I'm going to keep the reply stop to cancel. So I'm going to say, thank you so much for requesting information on my website. Hope you got my free ebook. Did you get a chance to review? Now, I don't have an ebook, but again, this is an example of a use case description that I might use. So again, they're opting into my website, they're getting something from me, I'm texting them because they opted in, okay? Sample message number 2, we're gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm just gonna say, when is the best time for me to reach out to you? Right? Hey, this is Jonathan Farrell. Thank you so much for requesting information on my website. When is the best time to reach out to you? I have two use cases that now, or excuse me, I have two sample messages that now match my use case. Okay, so we're saying these are people who have opted in on my website. I am now going to text them these two things right here. Okay, now I'm a mortgage broker, right? So I do need to include, this message includes a content related to direct lending or other loan arrangement. Okay, so if I'm doing loans or if I'm a loan officer, please make sure that you select this one right here at the bottom. Okay, it just protects you just in case they come back and say, hey, you're talking about loans. Your messages don't talk about that. So just make sure that you select that right here if you're doing loans. Okay. Next, we're going to go to how does the lead contact consent to receive messages? So this is incredibly important, guys. We are going to copy this, and we do need to show them exactly where the lead is receiving these messages. Okay, or excuse me, where they're coming into the system, how we're obtaining consent, right? So you will notice that it requires a website. You have a website created that has a proper opt-in form in order to get A2P approved. That is the only way of doing that right now. My recommendation, guys, would be to go to either high level or lovable or one of the different website pages that will allow for you to easily create a nice looking website. Okay, so you will see I'm on Lovable. I actually built a nice little website through Lovable that is hosted and has a GoHighLevel form on it that has the proper consent language right here. So right here, if I go to AutomatedLO.com, here's my website. Looks really good, right? Lovable made it in about 3 seconds. When I scroll down, there is a consent form that says fill out your name, phone number, and email. By checking this box, I consent to receive marketing and promotional messages, including special offers, discounts, all the other stuff. Reply help to help, reply stop to opt out. Okay, that's step 1. Okay, we have to have a form that has this. Step 2, you must have a privacy policy and you must have a terms of service agreement on your website. If you do not, you will fail TCPA compliance, which will mean that you cannot get A2P approved. So you will see I have a privacy policy. I have a terms of service page. Lovable made this for me in about a span of about 60 seconds. So again, if you don't want to make your own, have AI do it for you, right? And you will see I have a high level form that's hosted directly on my website for me to be able to one, remain compliant, but then two, get my A2P approved. So I'm going to select my website right here. I'm going to go back into this scenario right here. So, oops, I accidentally did something. Oh, there we go. So, end users opt in by visiting AutomatedLO.com. They scroll all the way to the bottom and fill out their details on the contact us form. Users check a box to receive notifications and promotional message to provide their consent. Again, we are showing them here is where consent is obtained, and this is how these people get into my system. This allows for me to then contact them, right? You will then go back to opt-in message. You have successfully opted in to receiving promotional messages from Jonathan Ferrell. Reply stop if you need to opt out in the future. We will then click submit. Okay. Ever since implementing this system here, guys. Oh yeah, I forgot. You do now need to provide your driver's license. I'll go ahead and do that, and that way I can kind of get through this real quick. Okay, I'm back. So ever since providing this way, or ever since utilizing this methodology, we have gone from getting 3 out of 10 campaigns approved to 9 out of 10 campaigns approved on the first try. Okay, you have to follow these steps accordingly. You have to show where is the user opting in. You have to show the campaign is going to be used to reach out to customers who sign up for updates on my website using the correct form. Okay, we're showing where consent is being obtained. This will allow for us to get A2P approved. Now, I'm going to throw a little caveat in here real quick. Once you get approved, we're not saying, hey, every single person came in through this, right? But this is to get you approved. Again, if you're doing lead generation, you're getting leads from all these other different providers and everything else. That part doesn't matter after you get approved. It's a matter of getting approved, being able to utilize this functionality so that way we can do text messages and everything else. So again, this is a little bit longer video than I like, but it is incredibly important because this is a hot topic right now. Okay, make sure that you follow these steps to the T, fill out your business profile. You have to have a website connected to a domain, incredibly important, connected to a domain. You could build one very easily inside of your GoHighLevel system and connect a form. All that they're looking for is a form, privacy policy, terms and conditions. If you do that accordingly, you will be able to get A2P approved and you'll have no problem going on from here on out. Okay. If you have a form that does not have a opt-in language, you will not get A2P approved. Okay, so if your form is built on Wix or your form is built on anything else, please ensure that it has the checkbox right here. That will allow for you to get A2P approved. Okay, thanks guys, appreciate it. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.